All right, folks, this week in discussion, we're going to do a couple things. We're going to have an additional thread, which you'll like. A lot of you have been getting a lot out of these additional threads. But the primary emphasis in this week's discussion board is going to be Excel and specifically how we're using it on the job. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through a little scenario in which you put together how you or explain how you would put together an Excel spreadsheet for personal budgeting, okay? They can be very elaborate here, or you can be kind of bare bones and basic. The goal, though, is for you to just explain to us how you would use all the various features you now understand how to use in Excel to put together some kind of basic budgeting, but some sort of budgeting spreadsheet. Okay. Now, there's a couple things to keep in mind. One is there are lots of budgeting spreadsheets in Microsoft Excel already. So when you open up Microsoft Excel, that first screen you have is you can open up a plain spreadsheet, or there's a variety of different templates. If you click on that search template button, you can search for personal budgeting or all sorts of things, and you're going to see a whole bunch of different kinds of templates that'll give you kind of an idea of what Excel can do when it comes to personal budgeting. Basically, it will do all the work for you, which is really nice. And it will include formulas and functions, all sorts of really nifty things. So keep that in mind when you start thinking about explaining your own spreadsheet, okay, or your own budgeting spreadsheet. So the goal is for you to start saying, all right, these are the kinds of things that I will start budgeting for. Rent or mortgage, car payment, insurance, kid tutoring for my kids, food, entertainment kinds of things, Netflix, blah blah blah, all those kinds of things. And then you're also going to want to say, all right, these are the kinds of ways I'm going to put it together. I'm going to use, this in this column, and I'm going to put this in this column, and then maybe I'll color code things to make it a little easier to see, and then maybe I'll use some sort of sum function at the end, right? So that's what I want you to be doing in your 150 word minimum discussion board post, is explain to us how you're going to be able to put something like this together. Now, here's one thing to keep in mind, other than just the whole template thing, which should be helpful. If you want to earn some extra credit this week, show us a spreadsheet. Put together something, just kind of the bare bones, outline of a spreadsheet or something like that, and then attach it as a little attachment on your initial post. So explain everything, but then attach it as well. Now, in it, you don't have to fill everything in. You don't have to say, this is what my mortgage is, or this is what my rent is, or this is how much my car payment. If you want to do that, you can. But please, that can be, your thing. That is your private information. So you don't need to share that. You don't need to include all that if you don't want to. But if you want to earn extra credit, definitely try to put together a spreadsheet. Okay. It can be very bare bones. I mean, this might be something that's entirely new to you. You don't know anything about it, but challenge yourself to kind of learn something new. So I don't care how it looks. I just want to see that you've tried to do it. Now that's extra credit. It's not required, but it's a really nice little feature, is to be able to have some extra credit. We're going to do another additional thread, and it's going to be not related to Excel. It'll be more related to some of the topics we've been talking about, things related to internet ethics, social media, all sorts of stuff like that. In part because you guys seem to be really interested in those topics, and I'm interested in those topics, and I think it makes the discussion boards a lot more interesting if we can talk about things that that kind of pique our interest and kind of touch our lives in very unique ways. So keep your eyes peeled for another additional thread that may have some extra credit component in it as well. So you may have two opportunities this week for extra credit, which is pretty sweet. So any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, folks, you know where to find me. And let's see what we can put together this week in discussion. Thanks.